Hello, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk about the one thing that a lot of recruiters are probably not doing and that they should, that gives them an extra edge over other recruiters and allows them to give more value to the candidates and client. It's a really big secret, but before I announce it, please make sure you support a fellow recruiter. Give us a like, subscribe, click that bell, would really mean a lot. So let's get into it. Okay, so you've been watching this to learn about this one secret that really helped me catapult to a level of success that I'm very proud of, maybe to one that, inspires and motivates you all. And again, if I can do it, you can do it. But I think out of all the things out there with technology, plugins, automations, I think there's one thing that's easily overlooked on, especially if you're a recruiter working for yourself, self-employed, solo, freelancing, that can really help. And that is to be able to really maximize and utilize your non-working hours. What does that mean? Working hours are consistent of typically your 40 hours, 50 hours a week from 9 to 5, 9 to 6, 9 to 7. But the main question is, what are you doing outside of that, right? What are you doing from when you finish your work day to when you go to bed? What are you doing on Saturday? What are you doing on Sunday? I think it's very easy in recruiting, especially if you have a job or a career, to be able to turn off, have 9 to 5. I'm all about work-life balance. It's fantastic, right? But at the same time, this also applies to folk in a job or career, but also for folks that are entrepreneurial, that want to work 24/7 or who are working for themselves. They own their own business. Business doesn't sleep. It's 24/7. And even though technically you can't schedule the interviews for most companies on the weekends, there's still a lot you can do on the evening and on the weekends to be able to make sure that you are staying on top of everything. So when it comes to just really thinking about and utilizing your non-working time, there's three main things that come to me in my mind that I want to share with you on why you should take advantage of your non-working or secondary working hours, right? So the first is just to catch up. So during your day, especially if you're a full desk recruiter or any type of recruiter, it's extremely fast paced. You're managing so many interviews, you're talking to stakeholders, you're picking up job descriptions and job recs, and you have 30 interviews happening at the same time. You have process calls, feedback calls, negotiations. I mean, there's literally so many things happening on your desk every single day that you have to juggle, that your time management has to be top notch. Figure out, what am I gonna do in the working hours, and try your best to do it, right? And you always wanna focus on, did you just start your own recruitment agency and are struggling getting your own clients? Are you thinking about starting your own agency but afraid to make the jump? Do you have your own clients but you're struggling to find the perfect candidates fast? Do you have a full-time job and want to do recruitment part-time to make more money on the side and have no idea how to? If you answered yes to any of these questions, please consider joining our private community. It is a trust-based community where recruiters around the world can support, collaborate, and work together on placements all around the year consistently. In this community, you will directly have access to the real open jobs of my team and of our members, and you will also have the chance to access trainings, events, giveaways, and much more. If you are part of this community, I communicate and work with you as if you were on my own team, and I'll do whatever I can to do a placement together with your client or candidate. So if you're struggling to get your own clients or candidates and you want a way you can make sure you can be busy all year round by having access to many more open roles, then this is something you need to look into. This is open to people around the world and is open for recruiters in every industry and experience levels, as we will always have a good number of variety of open jobs across sectors, markets, and industries. I'm really happy to say that within the first 30 days, we have already have a new member with minimal recruiting experience do his first placement that had a total fee of almost 30,000 US dollars, and we are working hard to do many more this year. If you are interested and excited, there are only a limited number of spots open, so make sure you sign up quick at patreon.com/recruiterpreston. If you have any questions, please reach out to me on LinkedIn, Instagram, or Discord. We can set up a time to chat. See you on the other side. I think the hardest thing is to be able to figure out, what am I gonna do in the working hours, and try your best to do it, right? And you always wanna focus on those activities that push your business or desk forward, which I talk a lot about. So whether it's on the candidate side, client side, outreach, sourcing, qualifying, that's what most of your time should be about. So you hardly have any other time outside of that to really do anything else, right? So this is where, your non-working, your secondary hours can just come in clutch. To define this, I'm talking about evenings, I'm talking about weekends, weekends, possibly even early mornings, especially if you are an early riser. So one of the biggest benefits that you will find when it comes to just being able to utilize these hours is just to catch up, like catching up on things that you normally did not have a chance to just go over that day. And you don't want to wait till next day. You don't want to wait 2 days later, because what if these are very time sensitive? What if they're very high priority, right? You want to make sure you're able to carve out some time in the day that doesn't infringe on your main activities that you need to be focused on to do placements and finding candidates and clients. So catching up is perfect. Whether it's catching up on bills, catching up on notes, catching up on clients, catching up on candidates, just like decompress. What happened today? How did I do? Did I do this really well? Where can I improve? Just catching up, retrospective like audit of the day. Put some time before you turn off that computer, before you go out with friends, to really think about what on my desk went well, what needs to do better, and anything else that's outstanding that wasn't part of that primary activity. That's where you need to look into it, right? Just catching up on stuff, emails or non-high priority emails or messaging or texts or anything. That is the perfect time. Typically, I like to do it right at the end of day before I close off my computer, just to make sure I'm on top of everything. I don't miss and leave any stones left unturned, because again, in recruiting, you have to be aware and you have to move very, very fast, and you cannot afford to leave things hanging, especially even if there might be of a medium or lower importance. So the benefit number one is just to catch up. Benefit number two is you're able to prep the night or the week before. So not only do you want to catch up and audit and just try to understand in a reflective sense how your day went, but you also want to do the same thing with how your day went, how your week went, how your month went, and then prepare for the following week, day, or month so that you can really hit the ground running. So what I mean by that is, let's say that you're running full desk, you're researching a lot of companies, for example, to reach out to. You don't want to spend your work hours on researching. Do it the night before. So when you wake up, you turn on the computer, you're feeling fresh, you're able to cold call, you're still able to send your emails or messaging on the spot, maximizing your time instead of wasting 30, 40, 50 minutes, an hour, 2 hours researching, cutting into your day, then doing your outreach. Then you have less time to do outreach and less time to do candidates. That's just not efficient, optimal. So do the work and do the prep the night before. Same thing with candidates. If you have negotiation call the next day, you have pros call the next day, make sure you just look over your notes again, try to remember and go over all the important notes about the candidates so that when you talk to them, you forget a lot of critical or big information. You know exactly who they are, where they are in the process, the good stuff, the bad stuff, the difficult stuff, so that you can really be more pointed and just a lot more impactful in your conversations. Also, this is really good for just goal setting, right? And just milestone settings. Like, how did you do in the day? And how do you want to do better the next day, right? Use the data that you just went through to make the next day better, and do the same thing, expand it to week. How did your week go? And then use the weekend to find time to prep the next week. How did your month go? And use the time on the weekends or evenings or maybe the first couple days of the new month to have a better game plan on the next month, right? This is very, very, very important. Instead of waking up and just figuring out, oh my God, what are my goals? I need to do preps. I don't even know what my agenda is or my milestones or tasks. Like catching up, prepping, make an organization, have a really great to-do list on like things that maybe you didn't get to do today, but you have to do tomorrow. You can make sure you put them on the high priority, or you can label them high priority for the following day so that you can be super organized. Again, we are juggling with so many things going on and you have to be organized. The third point I want to share with you is organization, right? Aside from just, being a recruiter, and there's a million other things that you just have to manage being a recruiter on the candidate side, clients and negotiation. If you're now working for yourself, you're embarking to have a freelance career, a business, you then have to be on top of everything else that comes into finances, bank accounts, legal, admin, taxes, marketing, PR. Like there's no way you can do all of that in one single day or one single week, right? You want to be able to really be structured and prioritize on the impactful things you need to focus on. And then your free time, the secondary hours, maybe you have more time to focus on other things that you need to make sure you get done instead of keep punting it the next day, the next week, or next month, right? So focusing on staying organized is key. So staying organized is absolutely necessary. You definitely want to make sure you have some sort of list that kind of summarizes the day, maybe your week, maybe the month out, and then maybe have a couple of different labels based on priorities, high, medium, low, right? That's what I like to do. And so I know exactly what I have to do the following day, what my game plan is. I know exactly what I want to do this week and this month. So I don't leave any time to just questions and just vague and nebulous kind of thinking. Like I know exactly with complete clarity what I'm supposed to do to attack my desk, to help my team out, to help the community community out, and then to really make sure all of my milestones and responsibilities and projects that we're working on are continuing to move forward. So when you are working as a recruiter, that requires a level of organization, a level of awareness. Once you kind of move on to freelance or solo recruiting, that really just ups the need for you to have really good, lot more better time management and organization. And then once you are able to start your own business, maybe even hire a couple folk, that requires the next level up in organization and commitment and focus. And for you to do that, you have to be willing to spend more time, weekends, evenings, mornings, to make sure that you can get all the secondary admin, other important stuff covered, and it's still moving ahead. So the further you go along in recruiting and entrepreneurial, the more it's going to demand of you to just level up. It's stressful, it's chaotic, it's important to be organized, but also can be very, very fulfilling. So when you are working for yourself as a business, it never turns off. So again, I'm all about work-life balance, but it's also utilizing other time or additional time strategically on how it can help your business and desk. And this can also be applied for people at their jobs. When I was working at my recruiting job, I was very, very clear on only staying in the office from 9 to 5. I was one of the first people to always leave the office, the earliest, but I was also one of the highest performers because I was very, very, very efficient with my time. I move very, very fast, hyper responsive, and I just get through everything, and of course back it up with just a complete work and sheer ethic. So just because you're working in the office longer doesn't necessarily mean you're producing more, you're more organized. Every single minute, every single hour counts. Spend it doing something that can help you and your business and your life and career move forward, and then utilize the other time, the other minutes and hours that can be absolutely precious to make sure that your life doesn't fall apart and your business and all the secondary, medium to low important things are still aware, in your mind, organized, and you know exactly when you can address it and engage it when the right time comes. So hope you like this video. If you want to see more really cool kind of inside raw tips like these, please give us a like, subscribe, click that bell, comment down below. We'd love to hear what worked best for you, but really, really appreciate it, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.